Hello and welcome to Kenny Entertainment Network. Today we're going to be taking a look at Donald Trump orders the declassification of JFK, RFK, and MLK assassination files. So the one thing that I think was awesome about this is the fact that Trump kept his promise, which is obviously a huge thing. And well, presidents keeping their promise would be a win in my book, regardless of the president. And so with Trump doing this, we're finally getting some more information that we really have all wanted. Now, the thing that I kind of poured into that I haven't really seen a lot of other people discuss on similar type channels and news outlets is the fact that this specifically, the order directs national intelligence and other appropriate officials to present a plan within 15 days for full and complete release JFK assassination records, and immediately review the records relating to RFK and Martin Luther King assassinations and present a plan for their full and complete release within 45 days. Now, the thing that kind of scares me the most about this is the fact that it says a plan to present these things. So I really hope that Donald Trump isn't kind of, pulling a wool blanket over our heads or something like that and making this seem like this is a good thing that he's doing, when in reality, we're not going to get the information that we actually do want. It seems like if you give the government time to do stuff like this, I mean, granted, yeah, I'm sure there's a ton of data and tons of files and stuff like that. And I'm sure it's not just, the press of one little button and poof, you get all your data and all those files released to everybody, like, just published to the internet. No, I bet it's not that simple. The fact that they have that much time to make a plan to release them almost makes me think that they have that much more time to redact, cover up, delete, destroy a lot of data that we would probably love to see that would either clear the government in this stuff if there was any doubt or belief that they could have corroborated, like planned, gone through and done all this terrible stuff, like how I've heard the rumors of like the FBI, CIA, whatever, doing a whole bunch of weird, shady stuff with MLK and everything through his life and when he was getting popular and all that stuff like that. And the whole, obviously, the JFK, like that has like the biggest implication for, especially the, I guess actually both RFK and JFK, because the whole RFK thing, there's a lot of controversy with the whole him being assassinated and like different like the would-be assassin had different ammo than what RFK was actually shot with, and the autopsy showed RFK was shot in the back versus the accounts and everything show that the attacker came from the front. I don't know. There's just a lot of weird stuff that I think the American people would love to see. Now, let's go a little bit different and see something a little more interesting.
And Robert F. Kennedy Jr. reacting today to President Trump's order to declassify documents related to the JFK and Robert F. Kennedy assassinations. Kennedy is the son of the late Senator Robert F. Kennedy and a Trump cabinet nominee for Secretary of Health and Human Services.
And the nephew of JFK.
He has said in the past that there is evidence that the CIA was involved in his uncle's death and spoke to NBC News as he left a meeting with senators ahead of his confirmation hearing next week.
President Trump.
Do you think that that's the right move to declassify those documents?
I think it's a great move because we need to have more transparency in our government, and he's keeping his promise to have the government tell the truth to the American people about everything.
However, JFK's grandson, Jack Schlossberg, criticized the president's move on social media, posting, quote, "Declassification is using JFK as a political prop when he's not here to punch back, and there's nothing heroic about it."
See, and now I guess I can totally understand and see Jack's point here. I'm assuming he's probably not a big Trump person, but at the same time, I really think that JFK was the type of president that would have wanted to have, like RFK said, that transparency in the government. Like John F. Kennedy, granted, I don't know the guy at all, never got to meet him. That was well before my existence. But just like listening to the guy talk, and like he seemed like the type of president that Trump claims he wants to be. He wants to be for peace and unity and transparency and enough with the government waste and overspending and just honesty and just upfrontness about it. And I think that's what, like, RFK, that's how he came wrapped into this too, because he kind of understood like what Trump really wants to be deep down. And I think that's the type of president that JFK also wanted to be. If JFK was here and dealing with this, if like JFK and Trump kind of like switched, you know, a different timeline type of thing, I feel like JFK would be the type of president at that would also be like, dude, we need to figure out what happened with this Trump assassination type thing, you know? Like I think that's kind of part of the conspiracy with JFK. JFK wanted to pull out of the war, and he didn't want to have American citizens dying and stuff like that, and spending all this money and all this stuff fighting wars that we didn't need to be involved in. Like, he just seemed more of the president of like peace and for the people. So I could totally see why the U.S. government would probably want to get rid of them and you know, so they can't, because otherwise the CIA, NSA, FBI and stuff like that, they might not be able to have as much reach and power as influence in the world as they probably do now. And if JFK stayed alive, that would probably really put a kibosh on their ability to do such. I'm just worried though that with that time stamp that they have, that they'll probably be able to bury a lot more of this information, and maybe we won't get nearly as much truth yet again. But then again, at the same time, I mean, what if they release all this stuff? Obviously, you're still going to have doubters regardless. But what if they release a lot of this stuff and it does show, hey, the CIA, FBI, whatever, did kill JFK, did mess with MLK and covered it up. Like, obviously, a lot of the people involved in that are long gone, and there's no coming back from that, and no justice to be had. But I think that would really give a lot more, like, I guess, credence, more validity to having to restructure, reorganize these alphabet agencies and stuff like that, because they're obviously working outside what their intent should be or whatever. Like it's I think that would really show that, and I think that's probably why you really don't want that to come out in the grand scheme of things. But poor Jack, he doesn't think there's anything heroic about it, and thinks he's using it as a political prop. But no, this is just something that Trump promised he would do. Like, I think RFK's take is better. We need to have that transparency. This, like, having all this stuff classified and stuff not explained to us, like the drones in New Jersey and all that stuff like that, is kind of the problem. When the government knows stuff about things and they're not telling us, I mean, I can see both sides, but like, you're going to create a lot more problems, I feel like, if you're less transparent about this stuff. You guys, that'll wrap this video up. Hopefully you enjoyed it. Leave a like if you did. Subscribe to this channel. This is a new format I'm trying out, so hopefully you enjoy it. And always, with Ken, the more you know.